Let's get spooky. God damn. YouTube's Darkest Channels, episode 7.
Anything else? We're gonna do this. Nice guy must die.
Nice guy must die.
Nice guy must die.
Bro's like Cody Rhodes right there. If you know, you know.
This is my house from the street. Here is my car. This is a 2-bedroom brick ranch.
Oh yeah, GG. Somebody already took bro's license plate and found out where he lived.
Conveniently located.
It's the final day of February 2000.
L Leak, man.
A 47-year-old man living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, named George Sedini, publishes his very first video to YouTube.
Why that name
under
sound
the channel
familiar?
MOS B46PGH.
I paid $79,000 for this in 1996. That's considered a lot. Believe it or not.
The upload, titled How George Pittsburgh Lives, was almost like an old-school house tour of sorts, as George proudly displays the outside of his home, before then doing the same inside.
Open it
Okay.
up. Oh, someone left it unlocked. That's not good. Inside, okay.
So this is a house tour.
Side.
Seemingly making a point of mentioning every minute feature in the otherwise dim and empty home.
Here's my big screen TV. It's my computer, couch and chair. They match. Dining room set, shoebox full of old pictures.
To anyone who may have stumbled upon this strange video or Sedini's channel in general back in 2008, it would likely come off as entirely uninteresting and far from
Yeah, it
anything
seems
disturbing.
normal.
However, this couldn't be more different, as the account carries with it a layer of disturbing context due to the events that transpired.
Bro, how did you already find the YouTube channel? Hide from emotions? Oh, this nigga killed himself. GG's. Killed himself in GTA.
After this first video was published. Events that have since transformed the MOS B46PGH page into one of YouTube's
Darkest Channels. Hey, I read the hey, read this nigga like a book.
She remembers your name.
Keep your mate with you. Make sure he's someone you can trust. Just be careful. It's all I can say.
I'm gonna post this and see what comes back.
Who the fuck is Tommy? Tommy Energy.
I'm sure most of you guys have heard about the TikTok ban at this point. And honestly, there's something about it that's been bothering me.
Yo, nigga, it's a are you adding it up right now? Are we really adding it up, Nick? Or hold on, never mind.
Little hallway, 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms. To the right is my bedroom.
I was
Without
doing
any
a house tour.
context, it's hard to know what the purpose of George Sedini's first video was, if it even had one at all. The entire thing just felt so random. But within the footage itself was one clue that hints at the fact that George actually had a very specific reason for uploading this.
Why?
With that clue coming in the form of a book on his coffee table.
Okay, come over here. There's some reading material that we're all familiar with.
It was called How
Office
to Date Young
Politics.
Women for Men Over 35.
Nigga, what? How to date young women for men under 35. Niggas make books on that shit?
Which was about as creepy as it sounded.
My first guest today is a 51-year-old bachelor who says if you're a single woman over 30, you're a dating has-been. Please meet
Damn.
every woman's dream, Don Steele.
Every woman's
Its author,
dream?
Don Steele, had made a living as a dating counselor and life coach, creating various books and programs that were geared towards socially awkward men, exploiting them with the promise that someday they'll be able to get the younger girl of
Yo,
their
that's
dreams,
actually
even after
sinister work, bro. Like, I've never understood that dating coach shit, bro. Niggas is dead ass taking advantage of insecure men. The fact that you're out here selling a book on how to fucking date women when you look like that, my nigga, probably just have high confidence and you don't care about shooting from out of bounds. You know what I'm saying?
they reached middle adulthood, and all that they had to do was pay for his course, pay for the book, and dedicate themselves to becoming more desirable. And George Sedini was the perfect target.
Nigga
Despite
was
having a
insecure as
successful
shit.
career as a systems analyst at a law firm, he struggled to maintain any relationships with the women that he met. It had been well over a decade since he last had a girlfriend.
The nigga not even bad looking for real, bro.
And despite desperately wanting one, George just seemed to lack the ability to connect with women on any level, even as just friends.
Damn.
And as his isolation began to grow, so too did his obsession with finding a girlfriend. George had nearly given up these pursuits too, until he was introduced
I'd rather
to
shit in my
Don's
hands than
course,
clap.
viewing the program as his last real shot at human connection, obsessively reading the book to the point that he was supposedly able to recite passages by memory alone.
Yo,
On top of this, he would also attend many of this supposed guru's in-person seminars, with some of his
in-person seminars
and later posted on
how to date women. That's sad work, bro.
Don Steele's YouTube channel.
It used to be down here. It was called a codpiece, and it's gradually over the years moved up here. So it's read like an erect you-know-what.
And it was in these places where George was subjected to all sorts of bizarre and unsettling ideology.
Turn around here, look at me, and I'm going to tell you what
The
we're
Right
going to do today.
Attitude
More than
Workshop
anything
Part 1.
else, we're going to do this. Nice guy must die.
But despite agreeing with this man wholeheartedly and following all of his work, George was still making very little progress, which was evident by the footage of him attending these seminars, as he appears incredibly nervous and kept mainly to himself. And so, recognizing that George
he's sweating bullets right
was
now.
given an assignment by one of his instructors. He was told to film a video of his house, so that the instructors and everyone else in the class could see if he was really making himself and his environment desirable enough to any woman who might come over.
What? Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's weird. Bro told you to take a video and upload to YouTube of your entire house? That sounds sketch. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, couch and chair, they match. The woman will really be impressed.
Knowing this, the footage feels so much lonelier, as it was almost like he was
That's
trying to
sad,
sell his
though.
way of living as being good enough for a partner that he was really no closer to finding. There's something so depressing about it.
That is sad,
And
bro.
This wasn't his only video.
Show me your house, you have the same work. And not even that, bro showed literally the outside of his house, address and everything. Like, bro, that's so dangerous.
It is easy for me to hide from my emotions for one more day. Take a long drive in the car, listen to some music, daydream, or just do some mundane task around the house that really doesn't need to be done, that's not too important.
Okay, I'm sorry for pausing, but do niggas not know what a motherfucking dating app is? Like, I'm not gonna lie, if you're that insecure and that lonely, you could literally hit up the fat bitches on Tinder or Hinge. Like, they will eat you up, bro. George, I promise you they will eat you up, gang.
And there you go, one more day.
You tall and white, bro.
One day turns into one more year.
Months later, on June 23rd, 2008, George would return with an upload he had filmed inside of his basement. And in it, we get more insight on just how severe his isolation had become, though he still held on to a sliver of optimism thanks to Don Steele's course.
Now, RDS says that I have approximately maybe 15 more years to be successful at this. And when I heard that, I wanted to continue immediately to start moving on this. I didn't realize I had that much time. So my objective is to be real and to learn to be emotional and to be able to emotionally.
That's sad, bro.
People.
Before he
That's sad. I'm not gonna lie though. I'm like, at least I hope he didn't die. Maybe I really just hope it's like a lonely story because he kills himself over that. That's kind of sad. Literally, that Steele nigga is his way out right
eventually
now.
reverts back to talking about his uncanny desire to find a younger woman.
Because when I'm 10 to 20 years older than she is, she has to feel good about this thing.
Ending the video with hints of an uncertain future.
I'm going to post this and see what comes back.
He would never upload again. And soon after, it appears George gave up trying, essentially accepting his life of loneliness. But while this would be the last video made to his channel, he wouldn't leave the internet entirely. Soon after this final video was posted, a website was launched called GeorgeSedini.com, which served as a place for George to blog about his emotions. And while something like this could have been beneficial for him, this website would instead only serve to capture his descent into madness.
Damn.
An immediate red flag was raised by the very first text you see on the website, as George wrote, "Why do this? To young girls? Just read below. I kept a running log that includes my thoughts and actions, after I saw this project was going to drag on." With the line serving as some sort of bizarre disclaimer, though with no other context, George's entries began. December 22nd, 2008. Time is moving along. Plan to have this done already. I will just keep a running log here as time passes. Many of the young girls here look so beautiful as to not be human. Very edible. After joining the
very edible, bro? Come on, bro. Different word choice, bro. Edible, nigga? Are we fucking serious?
Weights and like it. This early post encapsulates what this blog would be focused on. Young women he would see throughout the day, his time at the gym, and his plan. This plan was never expressly stated on the website, but it was something he obsessed over, mentioning it in every single one of his posts and dubbing it the exit plan, even going as far as to provide a date and time for it, January 6th, 2009 at 8:15 p.m. Before this day would come, however, he would provide further insight into just how lonely he was. Moving into Christmas again, last Christmas with Pam was in 1983. Who knows why? I'm not ugly or too weird. No sex since January 1990 either. I was 29. No shit. Over 18 years ago. I actually look good. I dress good. I'm clean shaven, bathed, touch of cologne. Yet 30 million women reject me. Over an 18 or 25 year period.
Nigga, you didn't even get in contact with 30 million women. What are you talking about?
That's how I see it. 30 million is my rough guesstimate of how many desirable single women there are. With several other posts of the same nature, the day eventually came for his big exit plan, January 6th, with George writing one message that afternoon. I can do this. This log is not detailed. It is only for confidence to do this. The future holds even less than what I have today. It is 6:40 p.m., about an hour and a half to go. God have mercy. I wish life could have been better for all, and the crazy world can somehow run smoother. I wish I had answers. Bye. Despite this appearing to be his final post, George Sidini wasn't
yeah, 0 for 30 million is actually insane, bro.
Finished, as he would come back only hours later, writing simply, "It's 8:45 p.m. I chickened out. Shit. I brought the loaded guns, everything."
The fuck?
Whatever George Sidini had been planning that day, it was clear that his exit plan was something incredibly disturbing. And based on his use of guns, plural,
nah, this nigga about to fuck around and start just massacring every female he sees, bro.
it was likely not just an exit plan for himself.
Yeah, nah, he's about to fucking take
But
every
thankfully,
female
he
he
didn't go
sees.
through with it. In fact, he seemed to have dropped the plan entirely, as months would go by
Nigga
without
shouldn't
any
even thought
update
about
to his
that
blog.
shit.
Though this wouldn't last, as in April of 2009, he began posting yet again, with these entries being even more disturbing. July 23rd, 2009. Wow, I just looked out my front window and saw a beautiful college-age girl leave Bob's house, across the street. I guess he got a good lay today. College girls are hoes. I masturbate, frequently. He is about 45 years old.
Yeah, nigga, that's why your head fucked up, my nigga. You beating your dick motherfucking 21 times in a week, my nigga. Jesus Christ.
He was long-haired, hot little hottie with a beautiful bod. I masturbate, frequently.
Like, what? Nigga, why'd you double it down? Niggas writing this shit like it's a fucking poem.
The strangest part of this entire website was, according to those he worked with and the neighbors, they all thought George was normal. A little off, sure, but it appeared that these disturbing thoughts and plans were kept solely in his blog, and solely in his mind. But on
OG
July
original
28th,
Gooner, literally.
2009, this would all change. George had boarded a Port Authority bus that day and took a seat, carrying with him some sort of duffel bag, and as the ride commenced, he unzipped the bag and began to fiddle with something inside of it. An anonymous man sitting next to him noticed this, and curiously leaned over to see what he was doing. In George Sidini's hand was what appeared to be a grenade. The stunned passenger ran off at the next stop and immediately alerted the police. But bizarrely, nothing actually came of this. No explosions.
It was a
happened
fake
that day.
grenade?
Upon police eventually tracking down Sidini 2 days later, he was searched, but there was no sign of this supposed grenade, and the man who had reported this incident was unable to positively identify him. And so,
Damn.
George was released.
Nigga got
allowing
away
him
with
to
that
continue on
shit,
with his
bro.
day,
What?
And to continue on with his posting. August 3rd, 2009. I took off today, Monday, and tomorrow to practice my routine and make sure it was well polished. I need to work out every detail. There is only one shot. Also, I need to be completely immersed into something before I can be successful.
Bro, what is
I
this
haven't
nigga
had a
about to
drink
do,
since
bro?
Friday at about 2:30. Total effort needed. Tomorrow is the big day. Last time I tried this in January, I chickened out. Let's see how this new approach works. Maybe soon, I will see God and Jesus.
Oh, nah, he about to do some
This
crazy
was the final
shit.
update made to GeorgeSidini.com, and unlike his previous attempt at carrying out this exit plan, this time, he didn't back out. On August 4th, 2009, George Sidini would enter an LA Fitness in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania, and walk directly into a woman's aerobics class, with a duffel bag in his hand. He then dropped his bag on the floor with a loud bang, before he closed the door and shut off all the lights. In a moment of darkness and confusion, one witness recalled that she felt the presence of someone who didn't belong there. Before total panic would ensue, everyone was just screaming.
Well, duh, nigga. It was a nigga in a ladies' aerobics class who had a duffel bag.
So
Duh.
loud. At first, I didn't even think shots were being fired. It was so surreal. At that moment, George Sidini had brandished 2 guns from his bag and opened fire on the group of 30. All
Oh
of
my
whom were women,
fucking
which was
god.
entirely the point. In that dark, cramped room, George would discharge his weapon 52 times, striking 12
God
different women. and
damn,
himself.
bro.
Of the injured, 49-year-old Elizabeth Gannon, 38-year-old Jody Billingsley, and 46-year-old Heidi Overmeyer would tragically lose their lives.
Nigga, you can't even go to the gym anymore, bro. What the fuck? You can't even do fucking aerobics, my nigga. You can't go and do yoga. You can't go do cardio. Niggas gonna come in there and kill you just because his bitch ass got rejected by women, bro. Are we fucking serious?
The others were left with permanent injuries, both physical and mental.
That's fucking crazy.
It wasn't hard to find a motive. George had spelled it out right there in his blog. He desired women so much that his inability to ever gain a real connection with any of them turned his infatuation into pure hatred. And this is how he wanted to make them pay. And the ironic part is that this was all so avoidable, as these plans were heavily implied on his website, which had been publicly available online for roughly an entire year. Yet no one cared.
Okay, but no one knows George Sedini. Like, no one knows George Sedini. No one's gonna know that he has this running blog of him getting rejected by 30 million women, bro.
Cared enough about him to ever look.
It is easy for
y'all wanna know what that nigga was wearing? Cause like, what did he wear when he pulled up to that shit? Cause I just know that nigga didn't even look like he was going into the gym. 2 guns, nigga?
Knowing what we know now, George's channel is
got
kind of disturbing, as it shows us a glimpse into a mind on the verge of completely snapping.
That's what I'm thinking. Nigga probably pulled up in a school shooter fit, nigga.
And achieving normalcy by a person who would go on to become a monster when he didn't get what he wanted.
just everything I need. Well, that about sums it up.
Hi guys, I am with Lewis.
This is a new story? Oh yeah, this is a new story. Hold on, let me look at that YouTube channel. Shit, fuck all that, nigga. Where's the guns at?
Living room, the hallway. Here's the kitchen. Cleaned it. The view on the sun and the suspended ceiling. That's only so interesting.
Yep, that's the guns.
More stuff.
Yep. Man, this nigga's fucking pathetic, bro.
Mark Williams always dreamed of being a YouTuber. He had grown up watching parkour content on the site.
Yo, I did that shit too!
Many talented creators and the hobby itself, eventually becoming so inspired by it that he launched his own channel in 2019, at the age of just 15, with Mark hoping that someday this channel would make that dream of his come true.
Hey, I was with the parkour shit too, bro.
But eventually Mark would settle on the moniker Displace. And depending on who you ask, his videos were either extremely impressive or extremely irresponsible.
Oh yeah, GG's, bro. I'm already knowing, bro. This nigga probably fell off a fucking roof. Channel update stream?
About that, mate. Sorry, it's just... yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's probably gonna be some crazy shit. I don't want to spoil it.
Climbing on massive abandoned cranes and fleeing from security guards and the cops on more than a few occasions.
Police are on the way already now.
Yeah, they'll catch me then, won't they?
Oh, so he was a dickhead.
Often seen with him was his younger brother, who he had grown incredibly close with, which was due in part to the fact that Mark was somewhat of a loner and didn't have many friends in his own personal life. Though according to his mother, this wasn't necessarily by choice, as she explained that he did desperately want friendship, and he was incredibly caring. He just had a habit of making the wrong friends, describing Mark as trusting to a fault. Mark's longing for camaraderie became especially apparent not long after the launch of Displace, as his brother slowly began appearing less and less in his videos, forcing him to do these free runs by himself, which he implied was something he didn't enjoy nearly as much.
Like I was about to say, was this nigga even good at doing that shit though? Like when I see parkour, I think of my nigga Damian Walters. Like that nigga was him during that shit. Only my real deal parkour niggas know who I'm talking about. But like, bruh, this nigga probably was jumping over a fence thinking that was parkour, my nigga.
Who was part of the channel, Ben, he's not now. I don't think he's coming back at all. He ditched me, leaving me by myself, and I've got a problem with talking to myself as well.
This, coupled with the fact that he was dealing with the tribulations of growing up, led to his uploads on the channel becoming more and more sporadic, as he would often go dark for a few months, only to return with the promise of more consistent uploads.
Alright guys, don't know if you can see me or not, but I promise you Displace is coming back.
That often never came. It was clear that he still longed to be a YouTuber, he just needed some sort of a spark. And sure enough, at the end of 2020, he would find one right in his own comment section.
What happened?
In a since-deleted video, Mark would receive a comment from a man named Lewis Ashdown, who explained that he was a big fan of Mark's content and that he would love to join him in an upcoming video, as they both just so happened to live in Uckfield. It was exactly what Mark had been needing. A friend.
Oh my god.
A friend, but
nigga, I wrote this shit.
Videos with. And so that's exactly what he would do.
Hi guys, I'm back here with Lewis, and we're going to do the water treatment facility
in Uckfield on the industrial estate. See you in a sec, guys.
From their first meeting on, Lewis became a core part of the Displaced channel, leading to the two growing closer by the day, with Mark speaking about this bond on a live stream.
Are niggas gonna snake each other?
If you're going exploring at an abandoned pub, yeah, keep your mate with you. Make sure he's someone you can trust.
Oh yeah, nigga snaked him, bro.
Is all I can say. Because in the video where me and Lewis climbed the college, you know, I was constantly looking out for him because he did get dangerously close to some of the edges, but you know, that's what life's about, isn't it?
But despite finding his new parkour partner, Mark still had other issues getting in the way of his uploads, as he was now 18 years old, and was facing the reality of having to get a job, forcing him to put his channel on the back burner. Mark discussed this struggle and the many others he was facing at the time in that same March livestream, with his tone about Displace's future sounding less than optimistic.
I've been doing some talking with Lewis, seeming like he wants to get back into climbing. And
oh, so him and Lewis are still together.
Since Christmas.
Well, still friends.
That
kind of sound crazy.
Sound AO. Lately. Don't know why. I need to go to the hospital and have myself checked out. I am not sure where my channel is going to go. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these videos. I don't know if I'm going to be doing different videos, or whether I'm going to stop completely.
But unlike other times when he had gotten down on his channel, this time he wasn't alone, and his friend Lewis was there to have his back, as he pushed Mark to continue his work, even showing up in the comments of this livestream under the name Moral Unknown, where he went as far as to offer up a potential location that they could film their next video.
Yo, he's watching this!
To get Mark re-inspired.
A little bit of it.
We'll do Buxted Hotel first video back? And sure enough, just days later, the two would arrive at Buxted Hotel to begin filming yet another video.
Hi guys.
So what happened?
With Lewis. Having a little drink.
This would be their last on the Displaced channel, as not even 2 months after it was uploaded, both Mark Williams and Lewis Ashdown would vanish without a trace.
The fuck?
It was the waning hours of Saturday, May 29th, 2021. Mark met Lewis at the Maresfield Recreation Ground to have a few drinks and discuss their next potential video. Though once there, it was the drinks that took priority, and very quickly Mark had become intoxicated, leading to him calling his house to tell his aunt, who he had been living with, that he would be heading back now. On the call, his aunt could tell that he was drunk, but Lewis chimed in to assure her not to worry, telling her, "I'll get him home safe," which made his aunt feel slightly better.
Oh, hell no.
After all, it was only a short few-minute walk back to the house anyway. Instead, 12 hours would pass, and Mark still hadn't made it back, while Lewis himself also failed to arrive home. At some point during their short walk back, both boys had disappeared. They were reported as missing the very next morning, and the area they were last in was combed thoroughly, though very little was uncovered. Around them had been large pockets of forest and murky bodies of water, leading to some questioning if perhaps
niggas just don't disappear, bro.
Fallen into the water. Though regardless of
Gnarly, lock the fuck in.
24 hours passed, many began to fear the worst, until something strange happened. Reports began pouring in from witnesses claiming to have seen Lewis. Some thought they saw him leaving a local pub the morning after he supposedly had gone missing, while others had seen him at a local movie theater.
Bro, this nigga snaked him on some shit, bro. I knew it. Nigga snaked him on some shit.
The whole town was looking for him. These sightings introduced the possibility that the boys were perhaps runaways, causing several pleas to be made throughout the press, begging them to come back home. But it would be the police who would find Lewis first, tracking him down at his friend named Liam Hansen's house. There, the cops fired off a barrage of questions, as they not only tried to get answers as to where the boys had been, but more importantly now, they needed to know
where's the other one, bro?
Throughout all the sightings, it was only ever Lewis that had been spotted, and even now, after searching this friend's home, Mark wasn't there either. So where had Mark Williams gone? Well, Lewis himself offered very little, outright refusing to speak on the boys' whereabouts. But his friend Liam wasn't so quiet, as when he was questioned separately, he claimed to know exactly what had happened on the night of May 29th.
You can't say that age.
The day
13.
in which both boys had disappeared.
You're 13.
And he knew because Lewis had told him.
Oh, wait, let me lock back in. What do you say?
Friend Liam wasn't so quiet, little, outright refusing to speak on the boys' whereabouts. But his friend Liam wasn't so quiet, as when he was questioned separately, he claimed to know exactly what had happened on the night of May 29th.
Oh, Liam snitched!
The day in which both boys had disappeared.
Liam snitched!
He knew because Lewis had told him. According to the boy, the night that Lewis and Mark had met at the park, Lewis poured a cocktail for his friend, and then another, and then another, each one stronger than the last, causing Mark to become drunk almost immediately. Realizing he was drinking too much, Mark told Lewis that he had enough, but Lewis persisted, outright demanding that he keep drinking, leading to Mark begging Lewis to let him stop. At one point, Mark's pleas finally caused Lewis to back off, as the boy instead agreed to make him a non-alcoholic drink, only for him to fill the cup with even more liquor when Mark wasn't looking. By 11 p.m., Mark could barely stand, prompting him to make that phone call to his aunt, letting her know that he would be back soon. Meanwhile, Lewis had been so preoccupied with
just like Mark said, be careful who you trust, bro. Be careful who you fucking trust, man.
Getting his friend drunk, that he was still fairly sober at this point.
But I ain't gonna lie, my nigga. Just say no. I mean, like, nigga like me, I'm not finna, like, what, bro? What's good, K-Bim? What's good? W. Liam? No, L. Liam, dicktard.
And in his sober state, he promised Mark's aunt that he would get him home safe. Seconds after that phone call ended, Mark hunched over to vomit, which is precisely when Lewis pulled a large kitchen knife from his pocket and plunged it directly into Mark's back.
What?
Mark stumbled and asked Lewis to call him an ambulance, being unable to comprehend what had just happened.
Nigga, why?
To which Lewis responded by laughing, before doing it again, and again, and again.
Nigga, what?
This is what Lewis had told Liam.
Nigga, what? So nigga ain't have no motive. He just wanted to kill a nigga, just to do it, bro. He wanted to partner over, bro, just to literally snake. I called that shit in the beginning, bro. Nigga snaked him, bro. That's crazy.
Days after the alleged attack, but as Liam recounted the story to the police, he made it clear that this wasn't just a tall tale, as he had actually seen it for himself. When Lewis had told him the story,
Liam
he pulled
was
out
there
his phone and put it up to Liam's face, revealing that he had filmed the entire ordeal. And sure enough, when police searched Lewis's devices, they would find that footage, though it was far worse than they ever could have imagined. On Lewis Ashdown's cell phone were 7 total videos depicting the attack, with the footage spanning nearly an hour in total, during which Mark had been
an hour of straight torture, bro. His videos are so different. What does this channel have to do with it? Cause Liam was the not Liam. Wait, fuck, I already forgot the nigga name. It was Mark and whoever the other nigga is, bro. The other nigga was trying to collab with fucking Mark on that channel.
And stabbed 107 down.
What's that nigga's name, bro?
His phone and put it up to Liam's face for himself. When Lewis had told him the story,
that nigga Lewis was trying to collab with that nigga Mark on that channel to fucking
Yo, Strat, please tell this
give him a friend.
Trooper to shut up. Hey,
yo, man. Bro, y'all niggas both shut the fuck up. Y'all niggas like y'all flirting right now. Nigga, either kiss or shut the hell up. Wait, the guy who killed the kid is in a thumbnail of the video, I think. Bro, they were quote unquote best friends. Nigga was in his live stream telling him like, yo, pull up. We should pull up here for the next video.
He pulled out his phone and put it up to Liam's face, revealing that he had filmed the entire ordeal.
How's our day cooling, bro?
When police searched Lewis's devices, they would find that footage, though it was far worse than they ever could have imagined. On Lewis Ashdown's cell phone were 7 total videos depicting the attack, with the footage spanning nearly an hour in total, during which Mark had been stabbed 107 times, on top of having a number of other sadistic things done to him. And all the while,
107 times
Lewis
crazy.
Was giggling manically. When asked about what he had seen in those recordings, Liam provided further detail on just how awful the attack was, recounting that he ripped Mark's eyes out.
That is the live. That's the live.
I was going into shock. I was shocked how he came out with it. I wanted to run and tell someone.
Now, low key, since I got that fucking... Oh, I thought I had it pulled up.
How long this one's gonna last?
This is it right here, bro.
You are Lewis.
That nigga's right here, bro. Even if you don't carry on your channel, I'll be starting my own one soon. Dude, that's crazy. You can't click on channels in this bitch, bro.
And well, I'll give my channel another go. Yeah, the channel's dropped right off. I should have.
We'll do Bucks Hotel first video back, bruh. Oh my god, bro. Whenever you're ready. Yo. We'll see what happens. People want to see new things, not the same thing twice. do some video outside of Oakland before doing stuff back in Oakland. Yo, this nigga's a fucking loser, bro. That's crazy.
This was clearly not a normal crime. It displayed a level of evil and hatred that goes past human comprehension, and due to its brutality, police assumed
what that nigga say?
To breed so much hatred inside of Lewis. But according to Lewis, this wasn't actually the case. Instead, he stated that he had simply found Mark to be annoying, and that he had been wanting to kill him for some time because of this. And
what the fuck?
Plus, he always wanted to know what it was like to kill someone.
Nigga, yo, people are actually fucking crazy. Nigga, people are actually fucking crazy. Why the fuck at time? Let me see what you said, bro. Niggas talking about Ross, so I'm already probably knowing, bro. Why isn't Rhyme streaming? Yeah, like, nigga, do I look like fucking Rhyme? I don't know why he's not streaming today, nigga. Like, come on, bro.
And that was it. That was his entire motive.
That nigga's sick as fuck.
Arrested the day he was found and later sentenced to life in prison with parole eligibility in 25 years, while Mark's body was found dumped in a nearby body of water and eventually given a proper burial.
That's crazy work, bro.
Hi guys, I'm back here with Lewis, and we're going to do the water treatment facility.
With this context, Mark's channel is utterly devastating. All he wanted was a friend to film videos with, but sure enough, as his mother had warned, he was trusting to a fault.
If you're going exploring at an abandoned pub, yeah, keep your mate with you. Make sure he's someone you can trust, you know, and be careful.
That's crazy.
Which brings us to a disturbing revelation.
Should I stream more of this video? Yeah,
months before he would kill Mark.
Nigga, I'm not no part-timer. I'm only an hour and a half in, yeah.
Lewis was the one that encouraged him to get back out there and film with him. And based on his testimony that he had been wanting to kill Mark for a long time, it makes it very clear that he was doing this not to be a good friend, but to get Mark alone in an isolated spot so that he could carry out his plan. And adding more weight to this theory, when they visited the Buxted Hotel, which Lewis himself had suggested during the
they actually went.
Mark was uncharacteristically drunk.
Hi guys, I am with Lewis. Just having a little drink. Okay, so we'll smash this after we smash these.
Which was never really part of his channel before that upload. And Lewis was uncharacteristically nervous.
We're going to do a couple more bangers. Can't tell you what they are in case.
That's sad as fuck, bro.
Be watching.
That's sad as shit.
Who's watching? Well, no, I mean watching the videos because yeah, I know that the police do watch my channel sometimes.
But hey, Lana.
Even of being caught by the cops, despite being totally unfazed in previous videos, where in some he was literally being chased by security guards. And coincidentally, by the end of this video, we get an indication as to why Lewis was so nervous. Because he had been carrying a
nigga
knife.
Had a knife, bro.
All this leads me to believe that night, Lewis pushed Mark to film a video in an abandoned location, then got him drunk, and was going to carry through with the murder, before eventually backing out for unknown reasons. And all the while, Mark was completely unaware, never once suspecting that the man he had been filming with had secretly been plotting to kill him, and one day would actually go through with it.
That's crazy as fuck.
Now then, guys, yeah, I'll see ya.
Lana, what'd you do after you went out? Are y'all back home?
Enjoy.
Chapter 3. Joshua Brown.
Joshua Brown started his YouTube channel back in 2010, a time when many individuals, including himself, used the site to upload random videos offering momentary glimpses into their lives. Joshua was in his mid-30s at the time and had recently finished serving in the Navy, before eventually settling down in Canton, Ohio, where he focused on his many passions. He loved driving, he loved technology, and he
Nigga, how did you already find the fucking channel? Yo, Spaz, I swear to God, my nigga, you literally just find these shits like that. Like, what the fuck?
Loved a little bit of danger, and soon he became infatuated with a product that was essentially the sum of all three. For Joshua, these electric vehicles were a technological marvel and the future of the automotive industry, and he dreamed of one day having one, with that dream eventually coming true in 2015 when he would purchase his very own Tesla that would eventually become his life and his YouTube channel's primary focus. He began uploading videos of his new car immediately, but rather than these focusing on the vehicle itself, it was its most controversial feature that interested him the most: autopilot. The feature had become available for Tesla drivers.
Oh yeah, GG's. He's gonna fucking do this. He's gonna fall off a cliff or some shit, bro. I'm already knowing. I can see it from a mile away.
In October of 2015, which is exactly when.
Yup, nigga shit's off the road, bro. Let's see your channel. Joshua Brown, autopilot save models. Hey, yeah, see? Niggas trusting technology a little bit too much, bro. I can already see where this channel's going.
Joshua purchased his car and began uploading these videos showcasing its possibilities.
It takes all the stress out of it. Get to your destination slightly slower, but hey, at least now you don't have to worry about anything. It's just let it go.
He wanted to essentially be a pioneer, providing an overview of what self-driving was really all about, breaking down the specifics and showcasing a variety of unique situations that you might find yourself in if you were to use this driving mode yourself.
This section in here is going to be very, very difficult for the car to handle. We're filming this just so that you can see scenarios where the car does not do well, so that you've got something to judge off of it when you're driving on your own.
And he tried to make a point of doing so safely, as he never used the camera behind the wheel, and always had someone helping him to avoid any accidents.
Okay, that's smart.
Despite his focus on safety, it was clear that he was pushing the capabilities of this brand new technology, as at this point it was still in its infancy, with one of the more glaring red flags being the placement of his hands.
Here we are, stop and go traffic on 271, and geez, car's doing it all itself.
When Joshua was shown driving, he hardly ever had his hands on the wheel, as he said he wanted to get the true experience of self-driving.
Niggas got too much faith, bro. You been home for a while? Everything good? Everything good? YouTube channels are so easy to find? Tired shit.
Was something that Tesla had actually adamantly advised against, and even had visual and audible warnings if it detected that your hands were off the steering wheel. But Joshua seemed to find a workaround, as he instead used his legs to avoid tripping the sensor, while keeping his hands close by, ready to grab the wheel in case of an emergency.
How I actually do it is so that it is really actually hands-free, is I keep my knees up, because the tack works pretty good, but I can still get my foot down to a brake, and just keep it like this.
I think shit like this is just so stupid, bro. Like, you're damn near asking for, like, play dumb games, win stupid prizes, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. You're just asking for it, bro.
Joshua truly believed that this car that was driving him was safe, and this belief was only strengthened on April 5th of 2016. That day, Joshua had been driving his car on the interstate when a large truck suddenly merged into his lane, with its driver not even seeing his car. And before Joshua could even react, the autopilot kicked in and veered out of the way, avoiding what would have been a certain collision.
Yo, that nigga's stupid.
Joshua would upload dashcam footage of the close call to his YouTube channel, where he praised the vehicle's response. Tessie did great. Excellent job, Elon.
Yo.
This video would immediately go viral, exploding to over 4 million views between the two versions that Joshua had posted.
God damn.
But while the response to this video was overwhelming, especially for a channel that was accustomed to getting just a few hundred views, there was one response in particular that impacted Joshua the most. As Tesla's owner, Elon Musk, would repost the video on Twitter.
Nigga,
Stunned
what?
by the tweet, Joshua would later state, "For something to catch Elon Musk's eye, I can die and go to heaven now."
What the
He
fuck?
had no way of knowing then, but this would not be the last time that Elon Musk would tweet about him, though his next feature would be under much different circumstances.
Nigga died. Our condolences for the tragic loss. God damn, bro. Autopilot during a recent fatal crash that occurred in the Model S.
It happened just 1 month after Joshua Brown's video had gone viral. He was driving on Highway 27 on a clear sunny day at approximately 4 p.m. With open road
This
ahead,
one's just
Joshua
stupid,
turned
bro.
on his trusted autopilot, and it stayed in autopilot mode for over half an hour, as at this point, his trust in the car was higher than ever, causing Joshua to seemingly lose focus on the road, as he was quickly coming up on an intersection where a massive 18-wheeler
Oh my god!
blocking
Final
Joshua's
destination!
lane. Joshua was seemingly so unfocused that he didn't even notice it. Even stranger, the car itself didn't detect this either, despite the entire trailer being horizontal in their lane. This was due to its pure white body, as the sun was shining so brightly against it that, for whatever reason, it became invisible to the self-driving AI. And with neither Joshua nor the car registering the danger that they were in, the vehicle would strike the trailer, going 74 miles per hour.
God damn, bruh.
There were no attempts by Joshua to even move the steering wheel, and the brakes hadn't so much as been tapped. The collision happened at full speed, and it happened so fast that the car drove straight through underneath, shearing the entire top of.
Oh my god! Lord. That shit damn near decapitated that nigga, bro. Holy fuck. Back before Elon was a bitch ass nigga. Facts. Nah, Elon took him out. There's no way. It's sad, but also stupid. You can be putting your life in the hands of a self-driving car. Yeah, no, that's insane. But I wasn't expecting the accident to look like fucking this, bro. Holy shit. This nigga whole top of the car. This nigga got a motherfucking... He got a drop top right now, bro. God damn.
The vehicle off and continuing driving full speed down the road before it would eventually crash to a halt. When the driver of the truck rushed over to see the damage, Joshua Brown was already dead, and the truck driver could hear nothing but the sound of Harry Potter.
You can own it on DVD and video. The adventure is bigger. The magic is stronger. Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Discovered in...
Did this nigga need... What was this nigga playing a Harry Potter ad while the car was crashing, my nigga? Yo, Nick, you lost me here.
Joshua Brown's car was a DVD player, which many believe Joshua had used to watch Harry Potter while on that drive.
Oh, okay.
Thus explaining why he never reacted to the impending collision. Now, this is something that has been disputed by...
So this nigga was watching Harry Potter while fucking driving 70 miles per hour with his hand off the wheel. Okay.
His family. And ultimately, it doesn't seem to have been fully proven or disproven. But in the end, the fault of the accident was placed mainly on the driver of the truck, who had made that left turn, and Joshua Brown, who had failed to pay attention to the road.
I'm about to
as
say...
it was revealed that during his 37-minute...
Like, nigga, what the fuck?
Joshua Brown was...
I mean, yeah, I guess they're both at fault. This nigga really shouldn't have made that turn if it... Yeah. I mean, damn, Josh, you could have slowed down a little bit,
mainly
nigga.
on the driver of the truck, who had made that left turn, and Joshua Brown, who had failed to pay attention to the road, as it was revealed that during his 37-minute drive, he only had his hands on the wheel for just 25 total seconds. Joshua Brown always wanted to be part of the innovation of Tesla's autopilot, and in doing so, he wrote himself into the history books as being the first person to ever perish in a self-driving accident.
That's
and while
crazy
this is no
as
doubt
fuck.
a tragedy, his death has led to numerous safety improvements and a better understanding of the self-driving technology that he had given his life to study.
Hey, Brett. That shit was... Some shit like that was gonna happen sooner or later, bro. R.I.P. though, bro.